I don't know about you, but I like keeping my money where I can see it. I'm actually recording this from a pool full of coins like Scrooge McDuck. But traditional big wireless carriers like to keep your money where they can see it too. If you like your money, Mint Mobile is for you. Shop plans at mintmobile.com/weirdest. That's mintmobile.com/weirdest. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month 5 GB plan required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customer offer for first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details. Most Mother's Day gifts are about one moment. Storyworth is so much more. Storyworth gives your mom or any member of your family or a friend or whoever a year-long experience. And that gives you a book filled with stories that only your special someone can tell. This year, give mom a gift that helps her reflect on her life with fresh perspective and gives your whole family the gift of her stories. Mother's Day is Sunday, May 10th. Order right now and save up to $20 at storyworth.com/weirdest. Save up to $20 at storyworth.com/weirdest. Storyworth.com/weirdest.
At Popular Science, we report and write dozens of science and tech stories every week. And while most of the stuff we stumble across makes it into our articles, we also find plenty of weird facts that we just keep around the office. So we figured, why not share those with you? Welcome to The Weirdest Thing I Learned This Week from the editors of Popular Science.
I'm Rachel Feltman.
I'm Jess Bodie.
And I'm Grant O'Brien.
Grant, welcome to the show.
Woo!
Welcome back.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, I'm a friend of the pod now. It's great.
Yeah, exactly.
You
a regular
are.
contributor. Last time we broke format, but then I found out that you have a thing you like to nerd out about. And I could
Yes,
make
I
you
do.
come back and talk about it.
And it's very sciencey. It's to do with physics, folks.
Yeah, listen, it is. It's all to do with physics. Would you tell our listeners who have forgotten since the last time you were on a little bit about who you are, what your whole deal is?
My whole deal is that I am a comedian actor in LA. If people know me, I imagine they know me through my work with Dropout. There's a billion shows over there that I'm on, and I think people should watch all of them. I think they're all quite good.
I agree. And Jess was an audience member participant for one. Fun fact.
I was.
I don't know
Oh,
if
is that
we've
right?
ever said that on the pod.
Yeah, I don't know if I did either. I was when
what
they
show
did
were
the
you at?
stand-up spin-off show.
The crowd control one?
Yeah, crowd control. I was in the audience for that.
I just did an episode of that. How was it?
It was a blast, as I'm sure you found out.
Oh, I had a ball. Who were the, I don't know if we can say, but hey, you know what? Hey, don't tell me who the comedians were. We'll wait for that to be announced.
Yes,
but
I'll
I bet
send it to
all
you. I'll
three
send
of
it to
them
you.
were great.
They were phenomenal. Yeah,
Good.
it was so cool to go and see how everything gets made over there too. Everyone was so lovely. Like I was so impressed.
They do such a, they walk the walk, which is nice. Like
Yeah.
it's not just branding that they're cool to people. It's a nice
Yes.
thing that it's actually true.
It was-
It really is that we're not lying when we're like, oh, we're all fun friends. This is nice.
Yeah, it was a really pleasant surprise. I feel like not very many places are like that.
Yeah. Great hack for getting a reputation for being fun and friendly is being fun and friendly.
Actually be.
Be fun and friendly.
Wild.
Someone else should try that once. It's
It's
good idea.
crazy. Pro tip.
Well, let's get into it. So on the weirdest thing I learned this week, we start by each offering up a little tease about some kind of fact or story we found in the course of reading, writing, reporting, having a few laughs, etc., and decide which one we absolutely have to hear more about first. Then once we've all had time to spin our little science yarns, we reconvene and decide what the weirdest thing we learned this week actually was. Except we don't do that part anymore. There's no winner. We had too many three-way ties. It was getting goofy. Jess, what's your tease?
Yeah, I'm going to talk about 4 musical notes that are historically and scientifically engineered to make you really sad.
Nice.
Great.
Great. I love being sad. For my tease, I'm just going to read the headline of the press release for the study I'm pulling this from. Disabled parrot is undefeated alpha male of his group, thanks to novel beak jousting.
What a Chad.
Yeah.
That's a story about me, actually. Sorry about that. You got a little mixed up. I got a big old
How
beak.
embarrassing for me. Grant, what's your tease?
My tease is 155 miles per hour.
Wow. Who can live at that speed?
Who indeed?
Jess, why don't we kick things off with you?
I would love to. So this is my latest hyperfixation for a while. It's also going to be my next big YouTube video essay. I'm editing it as we speak.
Can't wait. Love your video
You know when you
essays.
have a... Thank you.
This does feel like Hyperfixation's the show.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's
It really
a
is.
delightful thing.
Yes. Yeah. So it's a hyperfixation it's like a creative project that's ruining my life a little bit. Have you ever had one of those?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Every day.
So I decided I would bring it to this show and infect you all with my favorite piece of knowledge. So
That's what we're here for.
my journey with all of this began last year when I started to play what would become my game of the year, my video game of the year. And that was Hollow Knight Silk Song. Are either of you familiar with this video game?
Only through you.
Okay.
I'm not at all. Indoctrinated.
Amazing. Okay, so this game has a predecessor, Hollow Knight, the first game that came out. Let me look it up. It was a long time ago. The original Hollow Knight came out in 2017. And it was the indie game darling, basically. It blew up, it exploded. Everybody was so excited for it. They announced a sequel. And everybody was so stoked for the sequel. But then they went radio silent for 8 years. And it's just this tiny little team of 5 people in Australia who make the
It's
game.
indie. It's indie.
It's
indie.
truly indie. They were kind of releasing stuff about it for a while, like their development process, and then people got a little too crazy about it and put too much pressure on them. So I think we don't know why they
That's
did
healthy.
that.
Yeah, good
Stopped
for
telling
them.
us anything. And then all of a sudden last year, they dropped a YouTube video and said, hey, the sequel's coming out in 2 weeks.
Ah,
And it
great.
broke the internet. And then when the game finally released, it broke Steam, which is the app people use to buy and download games pretty universally. It broke it, which is not a normal thing.
No.
And it came out and it lived up to the hype somehow. It was like truly an amazing game. It's about bugs, but it's also somehow about like duty and parenthood and feminism and self-sacrifice. It's just an amazing game.
It's like a Pixar movie.
Straight up, kind of similar vibes. So I would recommend you guys check it out if you're interested at all, or just like watch some cool YouTube videos about them. I think it's a really cool origin story of the development and also of the game itself is really cool. Anyway, that's the backdrop. And with this amazing game comes an amazing soundtrack. So it's done by this guy named Christopher Larkin, and he did the music for the first game and the second game. And there are like a million fun facts I could tell you about the OST. Like, for example, I mentioned it's a game about bugs, and a lot of these bugs spin like silk, magical silk, into strings and stuff like that. And so Larkin uses a lot of string instruments that are central to a lot of the big moments. So he does cool stuff like that. But the thing that shook me the most about the OST is that he uses this weird motif throughout the soundtrack. And he uses it truly from start to finish. It's on like the launch menu before you open the game. And then it's also in the final boss theme and everywhere in between. It's everywhere. And it's 4 little notes. And it sounds like this. I'm going to pull it up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sure.
That guy.
Which, might sound familiar because it sounds like the opening of The Shining.
I was just going to say, that's the opening of The Shining. I'm at
So
the
those
Overlook
first-
Hotel.
Yeah.
Exactly. Those first like 4 notes of that are actually a more long-standing historic motif. So it's in so many other things. It's in Star Wars, The Lion King, Alien, Jurassic Park. It's in Shrek. And lots of TV shows. It's like the blatant core theme of The White Lotus and the intro song. Like I said, this goes back way further than just The Shining, which is crazy because that movie came out in what, 79, 80 something?
I'd believe 79, but
79 sounds right. But basically, it goes back like 800 years to Gregorian monks. So they would sing this or chant it basically as part of the Catholic Requiem, which they'd sing in the church at big like funerals, basically.
Sure.
So it's a part of this giant Latin hymn. And those 4 notes I've been talking about, the da 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 da, they have lyrics, and the lyrics are Dies Irae, and it means the day of wrath.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
and then
Which is, very-
there's a requiem
very
after there,
light.
right? You tack the requiem on at the end.
Yeah,
Does
pretty
that
much.
unlock something in my brain?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
it
yeah,
makes
yeah.
total sense that it was because it's all in like a human voice range. It's like,
Yeah,
a
it is.
person ought to be singing that.
100%. Yeah. It's very lyrical. And after these first 2 words, there's like 20 more stanzas of Latin, basically, like Rachel's saying, that are all a part of this one particular song. And yeah, that one song, the Dies Irae song, is one piece of the larger Catholic Requiem funeral production, whatever it is. And yeah, the Dies Irae song is all about like the scary stuff that goes down on the judgment day, like fire and brimstone. And when the world turns to ash, will you go to heaven or hell? Like you're being judged. It's just some light stuff. And so why are modern composers taking those first two words out and putting it everywhere in all media for the end of time? You might be wondering. And it isn't just like a fun little Easter egg to like point to religious themes. There's actually like a lot of very powerful science, like sound science and psychology that can explain how this motif actually alters your emotional state and predisposes you to like bursting into tears and being sad. So to fully understand this, I did an interview with a professor of musicology. He is at the Berklee College of Music. His name is Alex Ludwig. He's known as like the Dies Irae guru. That is what his website says.
Nice.
And,
what a goth thing to be known for.
And he's such a nice, cheery, normal dude. But yeah, very goth. And he's studied this forever. He just published a big old book on it.
Cool.
It goes deep. And I was asking him, like, why does this sound so sad? And he came back with three main reasons. So the first one is that the notes are all very close to each other on the musical staff. Or like if you think of a piano, they're all like literally right next to each other. And music knowers will know that to be like a half step apart. And when you hear notes that are half step apart, they naturally sound very dissonant, and crunchy was the specific word that Alex used. So they don't like harmonize and sound nice. They're just like very dissonant. So that's one. And then you also have the fact that the notes are descending. They go like down on a slope. So he compared that to music that sounds like triumphant and happy, like a lot of John Williams music. Like think of Star Wars, Indiana Jones, stuff like that. Yeah. So it all goes, yes, exactly. So it's very triumphant, very happy. The opposite is sad, and that's like Dies Irae. And then the third thing is that it's in something called the Dorian mode, which is like, yes, okay. So you guys know. I didn't really know about this, but it is like a very, I think it seems complicated in a musical sense. It's somewhat similar to being in a minor key, but it's not that. I know the music people are going to be like, actually, it's not that, but it's pretty similar. And,
it is, people. It's very similar.
Thank you. Thank you. Step off.
We can call it a minor key and get away with it.
Yeah. Okay. Sick. So that was another piece of it, that like minor key music tends to sound sad, whereas major key music tends to sound happy. And I was, hearing this and I was like, yes, of course. And then I thought about it more and I was like, okay, why does that sound sad though? Like why does minor key equal sad? And so then I looked into that. This is my I told you it's my hyperfixation.
Dig it.
And basically the answer is that here in the West, most of us grew up conditioned to think that major key music sounds happy, like truly since birth. So think of Happy Birthday, the song they play at weddings, the Star Spangled Banner, all major key songs, all happy events. Also for gamers, the Final Fantasy Victory fanfare, when you beat every battle, a nice positive major key happy tune plays. And so yeah, all of these celebratory happy moments punctuated by music in a major key. So we just truly instantly from birth get conditioned to think these things. And then obviously there's sad music in minor keys as well, like the other funeral song that's like da 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 da, that Chopin's Funeral March. That's a minor key. That's like the framework of how we understand music, and it's very cultural. And of course, there are exceptions to every rule. For example, this is my favorite thing ever. The classic hit from my college days, Party Rock Anthem by LMFAO.
Sure.
Yeah, of course.
In the key of F minor, somehow. I was ripping shots and shaking ass to that song. I was not bummed out. There's exceptions to every rule.
I get bummed thinking about it, though. It's like in hindsight, my experiences with that song are all very minor key.
Okay, well, maybe there is truth to it then. And then the flip side too, think of Someone Like You by Adele, very sad, yearning song in a major key. It's cultural. And I also found a study that was trying to find like if this was consistent through the rest of the world. And it largely is because Western culture is so prevalent everywhere.
Sure.
But I found a study that found some communities of people in Pakistan perceive the opposite. They hear minor music and they feel happy. They hear major key music and they think it sounds sad, which is so, I can't imagine wrapping my brain around that. That seems so antithetical, but it is because it's so culturally ingrained.
Yeah.
Well, I have such a soft spot, too, for sad songs in a major key. What's one? Oh, I guess it's not the song "Auld Lang Syne" is in a major key,
sure.
but it's
Sure,
kind
yeah.
of, but it's sad
a
or
little
like
It's
maudlin.
somber.
yeah. It's like there's a bittersweetness to it, which I was like, oh yeah, I get how that could be depressing.
Yeah.
Which could also just be cultural because New Year's Eve is depressing.
It is.
Right, there's like context there. Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, but that's all part of it, right? That's why we associate things with different musical keys and arrangements and all that. But yeah, so basically those three things, the dissonance, the slope, and the Dorian mode, that's all why Dies Irae sounds sad to us. And it was so powerful that eventually it made the jump out of the church and into pop music in the 1800s.
And Shrek.
But before Shrek, secular composers like Mozart, he wrote a requiem, and he was writing this big famous requiem and he died while writing it.
There's a movie about that.
I didn't know this.
The movie Amadeus. It's a great.
I need to see the
great.
movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Amadeus
really
good.
is
Highly
so
recommend.
good.
I will be watching the movie. It's just so on the nose. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And then other composers like Berlioz and Verdi, they all wanted a piece of the Dies Irae. So it leapt out of the church and into everyday music. And then this is really cool too. Eventually when silent films had orchestras that would like improvise the music as an accompaniment because the movies didn't have any sound. So many of the musicians knew about Dies Irae because it had become so popular. And they knew it was like a cheat code for making something sound like a bummer. And so they would use it if something happened in the movie that was like sad, like a death or whatever. They would pop it in there, even if they were just improvising, which apparently a lot of these scores were just improvised, which is I think that's so neat. And eventually movies got sound. The tradition continued of composers using it to punctuate sad moments, making us feel even sadder. Then it was in TV, and now, of course, it's in video games. It's in Silksong, like I mentioned. It's the core motif of almost all the music in Silksong. But it's also in the other hit game from last year, Clair Obscur Expedition 33. It's in Final Fantasy 8 and 9. It's in Hades, Dead by Daylight, The Witcher 3. It's in Elden Ring Night Rain. It's truly everywhere. And the final piece, I think, which is really interesting, is that when I was talking to this professor of musicology, I was asking Alex, this professor, how it is, like, what's different about it in video games? Because he'd never really looked at it in games before. And he was saying that it's often used in boss fights, the same way it's used in car chases, in like stressful moments in movies. So, for instance, the way that it's used is something called an ostinato, which basically it's like repeating over and over and over, this Dies Irae. And it's supposed to be like a constant reminder of your mortality. So it's like if you have this one little piece that's like representing death and judgment and you play it a million times, it's like, don't forget, you're mortal. Things like, or this character
You're in
could
a boss
die.
fight. You could die right now.
You could die in the boss fight. Exactly. So basically, if you hear that over and over and over, it's stressing you out. But if you're playing a video game, it's interactive. It's stressing you out.
Yeah, totally.
And so it's changing the way you play, theoretically, because if you're stressed, do you like perform well or worse under pressure just in any given situation in life? And
see, this is why I like very gentle video games. I don't.
Yeah, sure.
I don't need that.
You don't want the pressure.
Enough.
That's valid. But for people like me who are little cuckoo bananas, I eat that shit up. I think it's awesome. And it makes the wins feel it makes the wins feel like so much better and more fulfilling and exciting. But it's fascinating to hear that this Gregorian monk chant from 800 years ago is actually changing the way we play video games now. That is such a weird trajectory. And so basically, yeah, if you know what to listen for, you'll hear this Dies Irae like everywhere. It's like a Wilhelm scream for music nerds. And like I was watching Nathan Fielder's The Rehearsal.
Oh, yeah.
And it's in the season 2 finale of that show.
Sure.
Which is
it should be.
Very exactly. And then I was also just watching my favorite new sports anime called Ping Pong the Animation. It is a sports anime about ping pong. It is truly one of the best animes I've ever seen in my life. You guys should watch it. But it's in that too. And so I'm just like, anything I consume now, I'm like, I get activated like a sleeper agent when I hear it because it's everywhere. It's everywhere. And yeah, you guys should let me know if you hear. You two and listeners, let me know what other ones you know about and hear because it's everywhere and it's very cool. And that's my story about Dies Irae.
I wish we got more stuff culturally from Gregorian monks. I think I
agree.
They did some nice.
They were onto something.
I don't know if you do. I don't.
Okay, that's fair.
I know what was going on in their culture. I don't know how much of that we need. I think I'm all set.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
What about those funny haircuts?
I think those haircuts have already come back.
Yeah, maybe.
I've been to Bushwick recently. All right, we're going to take a quick break and then we'll be back with some more facts. I don't know about you, but I like keeping my money where I can see it. I'm actually recording this from a pool full of coins like Scrooge McDuck. But traditional big wireless carriers like to keep your money where they can see it too. Maybe it's time to finally try premium wireless from Mint Mobile for $15 a month. I'm definitely tempted because $15 is a lot less than I'm paying right now. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. You can bring your own device and your number doesn't have to change. You can activate with an eSIM in minutes and start saving immediately. There are no long-term contracts and no hassle. So ditch overpriced wireless and get 3 months of premium wireless service from Mint Mobile for just $15 a month. If you like your money, Mint Mobile is for you. Shop plans at mintmobile.com/weirdest. That's mintmobile.com/weirdest. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month 5 GB plan required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customer offer for first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details. Okay, we're back, and I'm going to talk about a little guy who's also an alpha male. Biological term from scientists, not me referring to an individual as an alpha male in any kind of unironic way. So the first thing you should know is that the Kia parrot, which is the subject of the story, is a very smart and also very silly species. They're native to the South Island of Aotearoa, New Zealand. And the name for a group of them is actually a circus of Kia.
Cute.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Don't tell the car company about that. That's going to get annoying fast.
They're sometimes called the clowns of the mountains, often described as cheeky, very curious about humans. They really like puzzles. Apparently, in settings where food is really easy for them to get, like around parks and whatever, they get bored because they don't have to solve puzzles to survive. So they'll start to do things like try to take windshield wipers apart or whatever.
They're just little menaces.
Cheeky little guys. Yeah, little menaces. I will say, I was telling my husband about this, and he was like, how are they not the national bird in New Zealand? Why did Kiwis get that? And I was like, there is this thing where they do like to take bites out of living sheep. So I should mention
Which is
that.
a big part of New Zealand.
Yeah,
that's
right.
an important part to the New Zealand economy.
It's not all Kia, but apparently some of them got a taste for sheep, and they'll now just very chupacabra-like. And yeah,
I'm with them.
yeah.
Yum, yum.
For a while, there were these sheep that had these like mysterious little gouge marks and were turning up dead. And farmers were like, it's the Kia. And people were like, I think that's fake. It's probably just a chupacabra. But then they actually found out that, in fact, the Kia were doing this. And the bites themselves wouldn't kill the sheep, but sometimes the bites would get infected. But still, just the gumption to just be like, this is delicious. I'm going to take just a chunk of the sheep's butt and
they
fly
had a taste
on.
for lamb heroes or something.
Yes,
Yeah, but
mutton.
that's not all of them. It was just like a pocket of them. But they're little tricksters on a good day. And on a bad day, maybe a horrifying cryptid. But, we're zooming in on this one Kia who was already famously the subject of some scientific research. His name is Bruce. And he's missing his entire upper beak, probably due to an animal trap. If you search Bruce the Kia, you will find pictures of him from this previous study. He was found in 2013 and rehabbed, and now he lives in a wildlife rescue with the rest of a circus. And a few years ago, a study came out about how innovative Bruce's use of tools is to compensate for his missing beak. So we know that Kia are really clever, but this was the first demonstrated tool use, and he would basically pick up a pebble in his lower beak and use it to scrape his feathers so he could preen himself. And he also does stuff like,
Interesting.
yeah. He would also do very innovative things, like even though the staff would give him soft foods, he would take the harder food and kind of just smash it against surfaces to break it up. He picks stuff up since he doesn't have both halves of the beak, he'll use his tongue pressed against the lower beak to grasp stuff, which looks pretty freaky, but is very effective. But he doesn't just use his intelligence to come up with new ways to eat and to clean himself. He also learned how to fight real good, which is the subject of this new study I just read. And it says that, basically despite being the only disabled bird in his circus, he has single-handedly dominated the competition on every metric they measured. He won all the fights they saw him engage in, pretty much. He had priority when it came to getting food. Other birds would take a long time to go up to the feeders. They would wait for him to be done. Nobody wanted to mess with Bruce.
My man.
Yeah. He was the only male bird to have other birds grooming him in non-mating contexts.
Oh my God.
Including other males picking detritus out of his exposed lower beak.
I love Bruce.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Also, his stress hormones were lower than the other male birds. He was,
Stop. That's
unbothered,
awesome.
moisturized, happy in his lane, focused, flourishing. How does he do it? Basically, he's taught himself to use his orphaned lower beak, the exposed lower beak, as a shiv, which is very different from how Kia usually fight. Usually when they're fighting for kind of dominance or trying to get food from one another. So their top beak, the one that he's missing, it curves down. It's this very hooked, large beak. And they'll sort of bite downward pretty much always on an opponent's neck. And that's just the way they're supposed to fight each other. They'll also kick each other sometimes. So Bruce instead deploys, this is straight from the study, this is a quote, Bruce deployed his exposed lower beak in jousting thrusts, both at close range with an extension of his neck and from afar with a run or jump that left him overbalanced forward with the force of motion. So he literally hurls himself at his opponents.
So they just gave him a knife, basically.
Yeah. No, he's got a knife on his face.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. He doesn't just go for the neck because he's got this innovative stabbing motion. He distributes his attacks significantly more across the back, head, wings, and legs than his other fellow Kia. So these
surgical.
Guys, they never saw him coming. They were not prepared for Bruce and his innovative beak jousting. Bruce does kick like other Kia do. He does that along with his beak thrust, but his stabbing is much more effective. Seems like he probably just kicks to fit in. He doesn't want to stick out too much. And
yeah, he seems like he's concerned about fitting in.
Yeah, for real.
He seems shy.
Yeah. And when researchers first saw this, they knew, and I think may have actually gotten feedback from other people in the field saying, that's probably just a thing he did by accident. Come on. Bruce isn't jousting with his stabby beak. So they sat down and took stock of all of the incidents they could record. And his jousting would immediately displace opponents 73% of the time. Yeah, they would just back off.
Whoa, I am not in the mood for this.
Yeah.
Bite my neck, bro.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, so Bruce has, in the words of the researchers, weaponized his disability through behavioral innovation, which is a phrase I really like. The only similar work that the study authors were aware of looked at primates, where a primate that was already an alpha became disabled due to an accident or age, and then they were able to maintain that rank. But in both cases, they had the help of an able-bodied ally. So they're sort of presenting Bruce as the first time they have seen an animal who has a very obvious disability and has achieved the top rank in their group. I really like this story because when the news came out about Bruce's tool use, it got the same response a lot of achievement from disabled humans get, which is wow, how inspiring, how uplifting. Bruce has figured out how to groom himself. He's a model for us all to follow. But speaking as someone with a debilitating chronic illness, I don't want people to see me as an inspiration. I want them to see me as a threat. And enter Crip icon Bruce the Kia. So that's Bruce's story. And I can't wait to see what they find him doing next. What other ways will this little joker of a bird just keep beakmaxxing, mogging, and otherwise
I love that they
crushing.
checked his stress hormones too, because
Me too. Low cortisol beakmaxxing.
Yeah.
If it had been oh, he's just furious and angry all the time, I'd be okay, but he's just no, this is great. I feel good, man.
Bruce is I don't know what's wrong with all of you. You should really learn how to stab.
all the other dudes trying to knock their top beak off. Like, God,
Yeah.
I gotta get in here.
Taking a hammer to the face.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Bone smashing. But yeah, no, that's the whole deal with Bruce. And I've also been watching a lot of TV that takes place in New Zealand. That also made me love this because I read all of the study quotes in my head in a Kiwi accent. And I think
Charming.
thinking about little trickster birds getting up to no good is about, I would say, 10 to 15 times better imagined in a Kiwi accent. So I really recommend
Agreed.
that for listeners. You won't get it from me. That's something I will only attempt in the privacy of my own home. But watch them deadlock
Well,
or
I'll give you
Broken Wood
mine.
Mysteries.
No, I won't. Please, I won't. I shouldn't have said anything. No, I won't do that.
All right, we're going to take one more break, and then we'll be back with one more fact.
My grandma had a super interesting childhood. Like one time she chased a pony named Tony around the city of Newark. And I wish I had gotten her to write more of those stories down. Now that I have a kid, it feels so important to make sure that they learn all about all the things my mom wants to tell them. Most Mother's Day gifts are about one moment. Storyworth is so much more. Storyworth gives your mom or any member of your family or a friend or whoever a year-long experience. And that gives you a book filled with stories that only your special someone can tell. So let's say you get Storyworth for your mom for Mother's Day, which is coming up. Storyworth will send her a question about her life every week. She'll respond however she wants. She can write back over email or online. She can make a voice recording. Or, this is brand new, she can go through a guided phone call. There are no apps, no logins, no tech hassle. Storyworth makes it easy for anyone to just focus on the joy of remembering and reflecting. You'll get each story as she tells it, and then after a year, Storyworth will compile everything into a beautiful hardcover book. Brand new this year is Storyworth's Unlimited plan. Buy it once, and you'll be able to give Storyworth memoirs to friends and family all year. Plus, it comes with all of Storyworth's newest features and multiple full-color book copies. That means you can get all your Mother's Day gifts for your mom, grandma, and any mom figure in your life. Plus, take care of Father's Day while you're at it. Looking at Storyworth's questions, there are so many that I realize I don't know how my mom is going to answer. Like, what do you consider your motto? I'm really excited to try Storyworth, and I think you should check it out too. This year, give mom a gift that helps her reflect on her life with fresh perspective and gives your whole family the gift of her stories. Mother's Day is Sunday, May 10th. Order right now and save up to $20 at storyworth.com/weirdest. Save up to $20 at storyworth.com/weirdest. storyworth.com/weirdest.
Okay, we're back. And Grant, tell me about what's going so fast.
Well, I have been watching videos and reading reviews and generally hyperfixating on the brand new record holder for the world's tallest and fastest roller coaster. I am what people in the know call a coaster enthusiast. I like them. I think about them a lot. Speaking of gentle video games, what got me through the pandemic was playing Planet Coaster.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
That's a good one.
And this particular roller coaster is called Falcon's Flight. It just opened New Year's Eve of 2025. It is at Six Flags Qiddiya City outside Riyadh in Saudi Arabia. Now, I will probably never ride it for that reason. But I have been watching with great enthusiasm they're basically just point of view videos of the ride.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many new things that have been done for the first time on this roller coaster. As someone who pays a lot of attention to developments along those lines, it's been really fun to watch. It developed by a coaster manufacturer called Intamin. Now, I feel myself. I'm ramping up. So
Go there.
For any enthusiasts out there, you're going to be very familiar with Intamin. They've developed the previous record holders for the world's tallest, fastest rides. They're very creative. They're crazy people. They are responsible for rides that people might know. Hagrid's motorbike ride at Universal. Kingda Ka was the previous
yeah.
tallest, fastest roller coaster in the world.
I rode it once. Didn't like it.
I rode it.
like
I rode it a
coasters.
bunch.
I bet.
Are you,
I like
are
coasters.
you a thuzy?
I didn't know about that term, so
That
no,
word?
I guess not.
Fair. That's fair.
But I do love riding coasters. My issue with Kingda Ka is that the straight up acceleration and plummeting back down are my least favorite part of being on a roller coaster.
And that is really all that it does. Did. R.I.P. Kingda Ka.
Yeah, R.I.P. Kingda Ka.
Now, that actually sets me up pretty well for one of the things that I think is very cool about this roller coaster, Falcon's Flight, which Kingda Ka used a kind of like a slingshot to throw the train, which is one of the reasons it's closed now. And the other rides like it have really changed format because that's just a lot of force to the structure. So instead, Falcon's Flight is using the other very common kind of launch mechanism, which is a linear induction motor, which you can picture on some roller coasters, the ones that launch you from a standstill to get going very quickly. There'll be little fins sticking up in the middle of the track. Those are magnets that are going to fire progressively to start pulling that train forward. But because you can only get that going so fast, it's not going to have that really punchy launch that Kingda Ka had. It's going to be kind of a gentle invitation to dance with the beast.
See, that's what I like.
It's
you gotta take a girl to dinner first.
I have been so impressed looking at this, which should be a very intimidating ride, and it is, but it also looks gentle and lovely in the way that the world's tallest, fastest roller coaster can be. There are a few different sections of it. You get going, and it starts as kind of a normal roller coaster. But then what it does is launches up to the top of a 650-foot mountain. It's 650 feet tall. It goes to, I should say, it's 650 feet at its highest point. The actual longest drop is something like 500. But it gets that tall because it launches you at 100 miles an hour up a mountain. And then you just wander a little bit, kind of slowly at the top of a mountain until then it dangles you at a straight down drop over the side of the mountain before it drops you down. Then, while you're on the way down, there's what this coaster does that others don't. Even on your way down that crazy tall drop, there's another line of launching mechanisms to start pulling you even faster.
What?
Because then you get to the iconic part of the roller coaster, which is the 550-foot camelback, which picture just, if you close your eyes and picture a roller coaster hill, just like like a camel's back. Those have gotten, in my opinion, too rare. Let's not fight with perfection. Let's just let ourselves enjoy that hill. Man, I probably, like I said, will never go ride this ride, but I really would like to see that. I'd really like to see that happening at some point. You go over that, you've still got a lot of ride left because this is also the longest roller coaster in the world. You've still got a whole bunch of time that you're still riding this train when it's really low to the ground and fast until you land back at the Falcon's Nest, which I'm calling the station. And when you get there, because of the heat of the desert and the speed that you're going, the wheels on the train have to be cooled for about 4 minutes because they've built up so much heat energy. So you got to just rock and roll for a minute and decompress while you're there.
That's wild.
Wow.
That reminds me of how in Chicago, when the train tracks get too cold in the winter to run trains, they literally set them on fire.
Yeah, right? Oh, that's the best video in the world. What a great...
It looks so sick.
I've been really... This coaster got announced in, I believe it was 2019, and a little bit delayed with the pandemic, and I was sure it was never going to happen.
Yeah.
I was certain it wouldn't get built. I think it's possible it still might be a monument to hubris in the desert. I have concerns about, I love Intamin. I love the rides they make. They have reliability issues. Know if building a big heavy thing on sand is necessarily a great idea.
Yeah.
If someone wants to ride this ride, I'd say get it early and
Still in tip-top
ignore
shape.
some Saudi Arabia stuff when you get there.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. If you
What other? Sorry,
Yeah.
you go.
no.
I was just gonna say, what other rides have they made that we would maybe know?
Intamin, you would know there. No one really should any of these things, but a person in the know would know. There's a very famous roller coaster called Millennium Force that they made, which was the first roller coaster to be 300 feet tall. They made Kingda Ka and Top Thrill Dragster, which are the sister rides. They just. This is the one I will be riding. They just came out with a Velocicoaster at the Universal Park in Florida, which looks like a pleasure, and I cannot wait to go and ride on it. My actual favorite manufacturer, oh no, this is the kind of thing favorite
please.
manufacturer, which
hear.
is actually B&M, which is a Swiss manufacturer, Bollinger and Mabillard or something like that. They have, their rides are really good at generating airtime, which is... It's a sensation that you get when you're in 0G. There's two kinds. There's floater airtime, which is when you're between 0 and minus 0.9 Gs, less than 1 G. It just gently lifts you out.
Yeah.
Versus ejector airtime, which really throws you over a hill when you're going to fly off, which is too much for my delicate sensibilities. B&M does great stuff like that. What rides you might know of theirs? Oh boy, they are really well known for what's called a hyper coaster, which is a roller coaster that's over 200 feet tall. Which all these words are marketing. These aren't like official designations.
Of course.
Someone said, hey, you know what would look cool on a poster? Anyway, they're big, they're smooth, they're people eaters. I think Falcon's Flight is going to have a capacity problem. It's only 2 across trains, and they don't have enough block sections. But no one asked me.
They should.
They should ask me.
You should be a consultant.
I give them my feedback.
You go first.
I was just gonna say the only big roller coaster that I remember riding, and I used to ride them a lot, and then I got a concussion when I was in college, and now I get so motion sick so easily. And so I'm like, I'll hold you guys' bags. You guys can go on the roller coaster. But I used to ride the Raging Bull in Six Flags.
Great roller coaster.
Yeah, that one I remember liking.
If you are going to get motion sickness, that's going to be a tough one to do. That'll no good.
Do it. But yeah, that's like the big one that I remember.
When people go to amusement parks, they call me because obviously because of this. And I went with my friend and her husband and her nephew, and she and her husband both after 2 tapped out, and I'm like, we can't do it anymore. So I just spent the whole day with their nephew riding rides, and it ruled.
I love that.
My favorite coaster, when I had a favorite coaster, was Medusa at Six Flags Great Adventure. I just thought it was such a like smooth, nice ride, and then they rebranded it as like the Joker's Revenge or something.
Really?
It like sprays water in your face, and I think that one's also closed down now. But I thought it was a shame.
It's a floorless roller coaster by B&M, which is very well known for their smooth rides. It is. Six Flags sometimes doesn't take the best care of their roller coasters, so they can get a little...
In South Jersey?
Can you believe it?
You're telling me they don't take care of...
Did you ride Nitro while you were there?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, Nitro's...
I remember liking it, yeah.
Nitro's poetry. Nitro is like riding a
What's
dolphin.
its deal?
It's incredible. It is a very... This is going to sound strange. It's a very regular roller coaster. It doesn't break any records. It doesn't do anything necessarily unique. It just does everything really well. Just really, really good pacing over everything. Oh my goodness. Take me back. Take me to the east.
What's your favorite innovative roller coaster feature that you've gotten to experience for yourself?
That's a good question.
Gee, it is unfortunately those launches on Kingda Ka and what
they were
used
something.
To be on it's so intense. You go from 0 to 115 miles an hour very quickly. They don't make those anymore, and the ones that exist have changed or closed down because it was a bad idea because it didn't work. But to have gotten to do it. I already talked about those. What's a better... Oh, you know what? I've got one. There's a roller coaster at Knott's Berry Farm here in Southern California called Hang Time, which has Well, hang time, where it's a lot of inversions. And when you go up over the loop, you start going real slow, where it's like, oh, you're almost not going to make it. And then you go back down the other side, hanging upside down a bit.
That's cool.
Oh, it's intense.
Yeah. It's so interesting to think about. Obviously, a lot of precise math and physics goes into this, but like, especially with that, like having to time it exactly correctly to where it's like just slow enough to make it across, but scary that you're going so slow upside down.
It's a fluke of history that roller coasters happened when they did. There's a very clear break between like pre-CAD software, pre-computer aided design, and post-CAD. Where you can be very specific about the forces that you're programming in versus, I'll give you an example. There at the park I grew up going to, which was Cedar Point in northern Ohio, there's what was the first roller coaster to be 200 feet tall is called Magnum. And it is just before CAD software became useful. So they just did it by hand on site. They just got there and broke out a protractor.
Crazy.
And so there are awkward moments sometimes. They're like, hey, we're just bumping and going straight for a little while because what are you going to do? We're building it on the fly. We don't know.
That's charming, though, I find.
It is there's a loveliness to it. It is rough. That does make them pretty rough, but that's okay. I'm brave.
It's like the cyclone at Coney Island.
Oh yeah,
right?
I've been thinking about the cyclone. Clackety guy.
That one scares me because there's one part where there's a really low, like overhang
Oliver
thing.
says the same thing.
Oh my God, yeah. Especially for him, I at 6'2" am like, I shouldn't be here. I can't imagine Oliver.
Yeah,
I'm 6'5".
Yeah.
Okay.
They've got our backs. They've got our back. What could possibly go wrong?
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I can confirm that my husband is 6'5", rode the cyclone at least once, and still has a head.
His head.
So
I've ridden the cyclone. It's rough. It's
that's what made me think of it. Yeah, I feel jostled after that one.
Yeah. No, I love how much has changed from the wooden coasters into now everything is so high tech.
There are companies that are still dedicated to building wooden roller coasters. And I'm going to get it wrong. I think it's GCI, Great Coasters International, mostly their thing. There's another one. Oh, no. There's another manufacturer called Rocky Mountain Construction. And they're my favorite manufacturer. No, B&M's my favorite. They're also good. Anyway. What they do is convert old wooden roller coasters into modern steel roller coasters. They invented a new kind of track that they can overlay on them and make them do all sorts of wild maneuvers. It's great. You know what?
Cool.
Rocky Mountain Construction is my favorite manufacturer.
Wow.
I'm sorry to B&M. It really is.
Fun.
That's
Oh my
true.
God.
You heard it here.
Yeah.
Grant, this has been so great. I would love to just have you keep talking about coasters forever,
Well, if you insist.
honestly.
All right.
But really, thank you so much for coming on. This has been really fun.
Thank you for putting up with me. Thank you for politely listening while I did that.
No, I love this.
Not at all. This is
this.
what we do the show for. Learning new stuff. And also, honestly, this whole time I've been thinking, I did really love coasters. I do still love coasters. I just don't get an opportunity to ride them much anymore. So this summer, gonna do it.
Go back to South Jersey. Go there. It's there for you. It's there waiting.
Yeah, it is. It's been there the whole time. Grant, thanks so much. Remind our listeners where they can find the stuff that you do.
They should subscribe to Dropout if they haven't. The new season of Game Changer is going to be coming out here pretty soon.
Very exciting.
Exciting.
It's as bananas as ever. My Instagram is @PicturesOfGrant, where you can find some links to subscriptions that I have. If anyone feels like $5 burning a hole in their pocket, they can listen to some podcasts and read some things that I've written on my Patreon. I won't plug my live shows. Go to my Instagram. Depending on when this comes out, there'll be live show information there. And thank you guys. This was fun.
The Weirdest Thing I Learned This Week is produced by all of our hosts, including me, Rachel Feltman, along with Jess Bodie, who also serves as our audio engineer and editor extraordinaire. Our theme music is by Billy Cadden. Our logo is by Katie Beloff. If you have questions, suggestions, or weird stories to share, tweet us at weirdest_thing. Thanks for listening, weirdos.